Surau Ibnu Sinar is located at Uitm Puncak. It functions not only as a place for daily prayers but also as a center for spiritual and moral growth for both students and staff. It provides a calm and supportive space for worship, learning, and reflection. It is run by an organized committee that handles daily operations, event planning, and cleanliness. Regular activities include Quran reading sessions, religious talk, public forum, and community programs often organized with students, lecturers, and invited speakers. Surau clear leadership structure promotes teamwork, leadership skills, and smooth program execution. Let's look at the problems of the data system in Surau Ibnu Sinar. First, weak data security. Important records such as event schedules and budgets are often stored without access control, making them vulnerable to unauthorized access or misuse. This risk can damage the trust of the community. Second, weak data backup and recovery. Surau Ibnu Sinar lacks a reliable system for data backup. If files are lost or deleted, there is no way to recover them. This can affect the planning and also continuity of future events. Last but not least, inconsistent data entry. Different users enter information in various formats. For example, different data styles or name formats. This inconsistency makes it difficult to search, sort, or maintain accurate records, leading to confusion and inefficiency. To overcome the problems, Surau Ibnu Sinar used Microsoft Access to manage its data more effectively. This system brings together important information into one place, making it easier to access, update, and search. Any changes made are automatically updated throughout the system, helping to reduce errors and save time. This allows the committee to make faster and more accurate decisions using up-to-date information. Microsoft Access also increased transparency and accountability. With well-organized records, it's easier to preview past activities, manage finance, and plan future programs. Overall, it helps Surau Ibnu Sinar stay organized, secure, and more efficient in its daily operations.
Now let us move forward to the tables in Surau Ibnu Sinar database. The first table that I will be presenting is the events table. As you can see, the events table stores information about programs and activities organized by Surau Ibnu Sinar. It includes fields such as program ID, which is the primary key, program name, event date and time, allocation, approved fund, expenses, participation, method, and person in charge ID. Meanwhile, the data types used are short text for program ID, program name, method, person in charge ID, and data or time for event date and event time, and also currency for allocation, approved fund, and expenses, and last, number for participation. In design view, users define field names, data types, and properties like default values or validation rules. After saving, the table switches to datasheet view, where records are displayed in a spreadsheet format. The second table that I will be presenting is the person in charge table. This table stores information about the person responsible for each event. The fields included in this table is person in charge ID, which is also the primary key, name, status, faculty, college, contact number, and also photo. The purpose of this table is to help administrators identify and track organizers for all events, which is useful for future reference.
For our Microsoft Access project, we created several queries based on data from Surau Ibnu Sinar at Uitm Puncak. These queries help us analyze event information like budgeting, participation, and the person in charge who manage for each program. Queries are also useful because they let us filter specific data from different tables, so we can make better decisions and identify any problems. The first query is called Method of Implementation. It shows events at Surau Ibnu Sinar that were conducted either physically or online. This query uses a compound or criterion, which means the event method can be either one, not both. In the query design, we added physical in the first row and online in the second row under the method field. This helps us identify what type of events are more common at the Surau. Our next query uses a compound and criterion. It shows only the events at Surau Ibnu Sinar that were handled by staff and had more than 100 participants. We combine data from two tables, events and person in charge. In the status field, we filter by staff, and for participation, we use symbol more than 100 because both criteria are on the same row in the query. Access treated as an end condition, so the event must meet both requirements. Another query we created counts how many events were handled by each student, but only if the event method was physical. This is also a compound and query that combine information from both tables. We group by field like name and faculty and use count to total the number of events. The criteria were set as student under status and physical under method. This shows how active each student was in organizing physical events at Surau Ibnu Sinar. So next, we also create a fund balance query to help with budget tracking. It includes a calculator field that subtract expenses from the approved fund for each event. We use this formula, balance equal approved funds minus expenses. Then we filter it using symbol more than 0, which means only events that still have leftover funds are shown. This is useful for keeping track of events at Surau Ibnu Sinar that stay under budget. Lastly, we create the overspend events query. This one is similar to the fund balance query, but it shows events where the expenses were more than the approved amount. We added a calculator field called overspend using this formula. Overspend equal expenses minus approved fund. Then under the expenses field, we set the criteria as more than approved fund. This query highlights events at Surau Ibnu Sinar that went over budget, so it's easier to review and take action if needed. In summary, these queries help us understand how events at Surau Ibnu Sinar are being managed, from budgeting and participation to method of implementation. Each query supports better event planning and helps address the issue we highlighted in our problem statement.
Now, let's take a look at the forms in the Surau Ibnu Sinar database. The events form is a user-friendly interface linked to the events table designed to simplify data entry and event management. It includes input fields such as program ID, program name, event date, method, online or physical, and person in charge ID. The form features the Surau Ibnu Sinar title, Uitm logo, and navigation buttons like back, next, delete, and print, allowing staff to easily view, edit, or remove records without working directly with complex tables. Meanwhile, the person in charge form is also part of the Surau Ibnu Sinar database, and it displays key details of individuals responsible for events such as name, ID, status, contact number, faculty, and college. It includes the Uitm logo, Cawangan Selangor label, and the person's photo with navigation buttons to help users view and manage records easily. And last but not least, the image shows a multi-form interface in Microsoft Access, used for managing programs in an academic or organizational setting. It includes fields like program ID, program name, event date, method, and person in charge ID. And like any other forms, it also includes navigation buttons to move between records, making it easier to handle multiple events.
Next, I will be presenting the Fund Balance Report. The purpose of Fund Balance Report is to show the financial status of each event fund, help track available money for program, and lastly, to ensure a restricted fund are properly used. This report include person in charge, organizer name, program name, the name of the event, approval fund, the additional budget that being located, expenses, the amount that being spent, and lastly, balance, the remaining fund after the event ended. Fund balance report is to prevent overspending, ensure transparency in fund usage, and help in financial planning for future event. Multi-table report. The purpose of multi-table report is to combine data from multiple tables to give a complete program overview. In this report, it also includes person in charge details such as person in charge name and ID, and also information about the program, such as program name, event date, approval fund, number of participants, and participation method. It also have a grouping and summary, which mean that one person in charge have multiple program that they in charge of. This multiple report help help in performance tracking of PIC, provide a structured view of all program, and simplify data analysis for better decision making. Overspend report. This report is to help to identify programs that exceeds their approval budget, and also to help track and improve for future budgeting. This report include person in charge, the one who manage the program, a program name, the name of the event, approval fund, the original budget that being approved, and actual expenses, the total amount that being spent, and overspent amount, the amount that are being overspent by the event. And lastly, the program method, which is physical, online, or hybrid. This overspend report quickly spot budget issue, improve financial control, and automatically calculate overspending to help prevent future financial problem. Relationship. The purpose of relationship in access is to connect data between different tables and to ensure data is organized and avoid duplication. In the tab in our access, the relationship involved is the person in charge, which contain a unique detail about PIC ID and also event that store event information, including the PIC ID, to link to a responsible person. The relationship that our Excel have is one to many, which mean one PIC, one person in charge, handle many event. In conclusion, Access is the right software for us to list all the events that happen in Surau Ibu Sina because number one, it is easy and cost effective. The user friendly layout, it also have many online guide available and also accessible to all user. Number two, efficient data management. Access can organize data using table, form, query, and report. It helps to track financial by tracking the fund balance and overspending. It supports better decision making. And number three, improve productivity. Access can be shared to multiple user and also it's customizable. It's customizable report that you can put picture and changing the color. Number four, it also have a strong data security, which means that the file of access can be locked by a password. So only the people that have the password can use it. And lastly, number five is reliable backup and recovery. It provide an additional backup source and to reduce the risk of data loss.